Alrighty, gang. Back today with another episode of What's Behind the Cover. This is a classic book from the period. Swamp Thing number 43 came out in autumn of 1985. I was a deadly serious reader of this title at the time. This is my off-the-rack reader. I have a stunning 9.8, maybe even a 9.9 unopened copy upstairs. This one bears the hallmark too of the beautiful centering and all that. Anyway, this is my off-the-rack, and it begins with this classic cover by Steve Bissett and John Totleben. The story itself is by Alan Moore, pencils by Stan Walk, and inks by Ron Randall. This is one of a handful of what I call little bridge stories within the story arcs of Alan Moore's run. And I remember this book vividly. It really kind of blew me out of the water when I first read it. Swamp Thing's walking through the swamp. There's my old Carlisle PA stamp. This, and this, tuber falls out of his back. This old hippie comes along and finds it and thinks, what's this? Windfall. There's your credits. Oh well, who knows, he says. Hitchhikes back to Baton Rouge. Wants to check this thing out, reads about it, puts it under the microscope, can't figure out exactly what it is. Knock at the door. Here comes his friend Dave. Dave is saying, well, my wife, she's very sick. She's dying of cancer. She's in so much pain. Buddy, can you help me out? She needs something for her pain. And he says, well, man, I don't really have anything here. I've been doing a cleanse with some brown rice, but I have this thing. It's kind of like a yam. It's pretty complex. It shares some similarities with a particular root, so it may have some psychedelic properties. Is this all you have? Yes, I think it'll be okay. Everything's gonna be alright. So Dave leaves. Another knock on the door. He thinks it's Dave coming back. Nope. It's this kind of skanky guy, Milo. Milo is something of a pushy lout. You gotta have some kind of drugs for me, man. He tells him the same thing. Look, I don't have anything, man, but I do have this tuber kind of thing that I don't really know what the heck it is. I'll take it, yeah, and I'll pay you later, right? Dave takes the thing back to his wife, who's in bed, sick, very sick and dying. She takes a bite out of it, and my goodness. Sandy, is anything happening? Switch to the bar where Milo has gone, and he's bitching, come on, how long does it take for this stuff to kick in? Well, just at the moment when he's thinking he'd been ripped off, he feels his body catching a blaze. Hey, Milo, straighten out, man. Ah! I'm on fire. I'm gonna die. Back to the lovely scene in the bedroom. David, you're beautiful. There's plenty of time for lying still. Come on, David, you have to help me. You have to help me outside. Out! Throws Milo out of the bar because he's having this freak out. He still doesn't know what's happening to him. He is in a very, very bad way. Having a very, very heavy, bad, psychedelic experience. Back to Dave and his wife. Beautiful. Beautiful prose by Alan Moore. Beautiful artwork by Stan Walk and Ron Randall. There's no need. There's no need for all this fear. Back to Milo. Ah! He is in hell. And he begins to meet the Swamp Things. Rogues Gallery, indeed. All the nightmarish creatures that Alec Holland has ever met. Back to Dave and his wife. They're overcome with joy and emotion. Milo, again, we see, is still deep in the depths of hell, and seeing the Swamp Thing's vision of the world and his experiences. Back to Dave and Sandy. Sandy, I can see, I can feel a sort of light. It's the sun. But it's still nighttime and it's raining. It can't not that sun. Kiss me. Milo is still deep, deep in hell, having his terrible psychedelic experience, when he runs out into the street and is run over by a bus seemingly driven by Arcane himself. That's the end of Milo. Flash forward a bit now, we're back with the hippie and Dave, and Dave tells him that, the stuff you gave me for her, it made everything so beautiful. And, you gave my wife's last moments some meaning, Chester. You ought to feel good about that. Another visitor. It's one of Milo's friends. You dumb hippie bastard. I hope you feel bad about what you did, man. You gave Milo some terrible shit, and look what happened to him. And, I just need to know. Do you have any more? And finally, Chester is all alone, and he's taking all this in. The beauty that this unknown substance gave to Sandy, and the terrible, terrible trip through hell ending in death for Milo. I think I'm a good person. I mean, that's what I try to be. I guess in the end, you're as good a person as you think you are. It's just a question of faith. That's all. Uber classic material of the time. This is precisely why I will go to my grave singing the praises of Alan Moore's Swamp Thing. Oh look, we get a Gil Kane Hulk Hogan too. How about that? This series blew me out of the water. And I will never, ever forget it. And it will take on all comers in today's modern marketplace and steamroll them quite handily. I've no doubt. Hey, thanks for watching, y'all. See you later. Bye-bye.